the 2-week hot leaf method that turns autumn waste into garden gold. Garden smart. You know, there's a moment every gardening season when opportunity quietly piles up right in front of you. And honestly, most people just rake it away without a second thought. But those dry, crunchy leaves covering your yard, they're not a nuisance at all. In fact, they're one of the most powerful soil-building resources you'll ever have access to. Yet, year after year, gardeners bag them, burn them, or send them off to landfills, totally missing out on something that can completely transform their soil in just 2 weeks. If you've ever struggled with slow compost piles, stubborn clay soil, or plants that just don't seem to thrive no matter how much effort you put in, this method is going to change the way you approach gardening. This isn't about waiting months for results or investing in expensive compost systems. It's really about speed, efficiency, and understanding how nature actually works when you give it the right conditions. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, share it with fellow gardeners, drop a comment with your thoughts or questions, and subscribe to Garden Smart so you never miss practical, game-changing techniques like this. Why leaves are the most underrated soil resource. Leaves are often misunderstood because they look dry and lifeless, but in reality, they're packed with carbon, trace minerals, and organic compounds that soil microbes totally thrive on. The problem isn't the leaves themselves, it's how they're typically handled. So, when leaves are left whole, they actually break down painfully slowly. Their waxy outer coating really resists moisture, and the structure kind of limits how much microbes can get in there and do their thing. That's why, honestly, so many gardeners end up frustrated when their compost piles barely change, even after months. And the real secret is unlocking what's already there by creating the right conditions for rapid decomposition. And that's where heat really comes in. So, here's the science behind hot leaf composting. Hot composting works by encouraging this massive surge in microbial activity. When microbes start consuming organic material, they actually generate heat as a natural byproduct. And if the conditions are right, this heat builds up and wow, it accelerates decomposition dramatically. In a properly managed hot leaf pile, temperatures can actually reach between 130 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. At that level, everything just speeds up. Tough plant fibers break down quickly, weed seeds are destroyed, and harmful pathogens are eliminated. What's left behind is a rich, dark humus that plants can immediately benefit from. This isn't slow decay, it's controlled biological intensity. Step 1. Shredding is non-negotiable. Honestly, the biggest mistake gardeners make is skipping this step. Whole leaves simply won't generate the kind of heat needed for rapid decomposition. Shredding increases surface area, allowing microbes to colonize and break down material much faster. A lawnmower with a bag attachment works perfectly for large quantities, while a string trimmer in a container can handle smaller batches. The finer the material, the faster the transformation. Step 2. Balancing carbon and nitrogen. Leaves are rich in carbon, but they need nitrogen to fuel microbial growth. Without it, decomposition slows to a crawl. The ideal ratio is about 3 parts shredded leaves to 1 part nitrogen-rich material. Fresh grass clippings are one of the best options, but kitchen scraps like vegetable peels and coffee grounds work just as well. Even a small amount of nitrogen fertilizer can help if fresh greens are limited. This balance is what triggers the rapid heat buildup that really defines hot composting. Step 3. Building for heat retention. Size matters more than most people realize. A pile that's too small just won't retain enough heat to keep the process going. So aim for a pile that's at least 3 feet in all directions. This creates enough mass to trap heat and maintain those high temperatures you need for fast decomposition. Whether you use a simple wire cage, wooden pallets, or just a freestanding pile, the goal is always the same: contain the heat. Oh, and moisture is equally important. The material should feel like a wrung-out sponge. If it's too dry, microbes become inactive. But if it's too wet, oxygen gets pushed out, which leads to unpleasant odors and a slow breakdown. Step 4. Turning for oxygen and speed. Oxygen is what keeps the process aerobic and efficient. As microbes munch away on the material, they also use up the available oxygen. Without replenishing it, the pile can turn anaerobic and, well, start to smell. Turning the pile every 2 to 3 days keeps everything active. It helps redistribute moisture, brings in fresh oxygen, and makes sure all the material gets exposed to the hot core. Honestly, this is the step that separates a 2-week process from a 2-month one. So what should you expect as it works? Within a couple of days, the pile should start heating up noticeably. By the end of the first week, you'll see the structure of the leaves begin to collapse. By the second week, the transformation becomes, well, really obvious. The pile shrinks significantly, often to about 1/3 of its original size. The material turns dark, crumbly, and uniform. The smell shifts to something clean and earthy, almost like rich forest soil. That's when you know it's ready. Using your finished humus is honestly such a game changer. This finished material is incredibly versatile and immediately usable. You can spread it over garden beds as a top dressing or lightly work it into the soil to improve structure and fertility. Clay soils become looser and better aerated. Sandy soils, on the other hand, gain the ability to hold moisture and nutrients. In raised beds, it acts as a powerful boost to both microbial life and plant growth. And because it's biologically active, it keeps improving your soil long after it's applied. Why does this method change everything? Well, this approach eliminates the long waiting periods and uncertainty that come with traditional composting. It turns a seasonal waste problem into a consistent source of high-quality soil amendment. It also reduces reliance on store-bought compost, so you save money while improving sustainability. Instead of exporting nutrients off your property, you're recycling them directly back into your soil. That's how healthy, productive gardens are built, by working with natural systems instead of against them. Final thoughts. Autumn leaves aren't something to clean up and discard. They're actually an opportunity to create some of the richest soil you'll ever work with, and it only takes a couple of weeks when done right. If you put this method into practice, you'll notice the difference not just in your soil, but in the strength, health, and productivity of everything you grow. Make sure you subscribe to Garden Smart, share this with someone who's still bagging their leaves, and drop a comment with your experience or questions. Let's keep building smarter gardens together.